Welcome to the Back 9 Six-Pack with Mitch and Justin. Let's roll.
Hello and welcome to episode 30 of the Back 9 Six-Pack. My name is Mitch, joined as always by my esteemed colleague Justin. I know you're itching to open it. Go ahead. You had a quick trigger finger going.
Yeah, I almost did it before we even started. So
yeah, you're welcome. So this was you had a life comes full circle kind of moment this weekend.
Yeah. I played in a 10-man scramble yesterday out of Belterra. For those that don't know where Belterra is, it's like out in the middle of nowhere, Kentucky or Indiana, excuse me. If you're a NASCAR fan, it's right by the Kentucky Speedway, like 10 minutes down the road. There's a casino out there and a really nice golf course. Guy I know hosts a 10-man scramble every year, and you might be thinking, like, holy shit, that's crazy. It is chaotic. I mean, think about it. You're hitting a tee shot, like, you're waiting, like, 4 minutes for, 5 minutes for everybody to get done to hit. But then, yeah, so I was like, we were riding down 18, and look, like, there's a big payout for this, so, like, guys stack teams. Like, you should, you should do that for every scramble, right?
Sure.
Yeah, you want the best, if you want to have fun, but you also, for something like this, like with a big payout, you want to have the best team. We're driving down 18 fairway, and I look over, and I go, man, I said, that group is way further up than we were. And we had a guy in our group yesterday that even my best drives, this dude was 20, 30 yards past me. So I'm like, we were pretty far up. That group's 15 yards in front of where we were. And guy looked super familiar, and it just so happened to be a guy that we followed along at the Barbasol. So,
man,
full of a team of Division I ex-Division I golfers. And, it's crazy. We barely lost to them. But, yeah, it was I'm not going to dox him because it wasn't anything like the JV Holmes thing.
It wasn't John Bradley.
Yeah, he didn't pretend that he wasn't there. I saw his name on a tee sheet. So, but I mean, when you look over at that, I instantly thought, I was like, our 1700 is not going to be good enough. So I didn't even need to know what their scores were. I was like, our 1700 is not going to be good enough. So
yeah, look at that. Who would have thought back in July when we're walking around the Barbasol?
Should have asked where his mom was.
Yeah, no doubt.
Became really good friends with his mom when we were there. So it was a good time. I enjoy it. I mean, it's a long drive. It's a very long drive.
Yeah, Belterra is like, there's like that extra half hour that gets you.
Yeah, because you get on, you get on 71, or you go down 75, and you're like, all right, and you get on 71, you're like, it can't be that far down this. It's like another 30 minutes once you get in Kentucky on 71. It's essentially, probably closer to Louisville than it is us. I mean, I would think. I don't know the exact.
Probably.
I think it's like 45 minutes from Louisville, and it's an hour and 5 minutes from us. So, but it's a beautiful course. Course was in great shape. They kind of let us do whatever we want out there, other than we had to run in with a cart guy with a liquor bottle.
Oh no!
He literally came down in the fairway, plugged it up, and then took it back to his cart. It was the weirdest thing. Then I went up. I didn't drink on Sunday. One, because it's a long drive.
Yeah,
I don't want it. I had a long Saturday night at the Ohio State game, and I drove back that morning and went and played in this. But then he started talking shit about like all the guys on my team, like. You should know better than I'm like, you don't even know me, dude. What are you talking about? like it was weird, but they do host. It was great. Course was in awesome shape. If you ever get the chance, go down there and play it. And they got a casino right there. You can stay in their hotel and play the golf course. I've never done that, but it'd probably be a good little trip for people from Cincinnati or anywhere in Kentucky or in Indiana too. So
right, but
yeah, full circle though, running into our guy.
God, I love that. All right, well, since you're here and you're listening, make sure you're subscribed, rate and review the show. Helps us grow the podcast. Super appreciate that. Also, what are we down to? 7 beanies now?
Yeah.
Yeah, these came in. Shout out to Gunt. We got them last week. Justin's already done his salesmanship. He's sold 2 of these bad boys, so we got 7 left. Get them while they're hot. What we got? $25.
Yep.
What a deal!
Yeah.
What a deal.
And just so everybody knows, Turkey Open, if you're playing in that, we're gonna have like an entry table. I'm gonna have those set up on Black Friday. We're gonna do our own little Black Friday. And maybe we'll talk about maybe like a slight discount, if you buy them that day.
We got some product to move, Black Friday, spirit of it's the season for it, right?
Yeah. We're not giving anything away for free, but maybe a little discount. Not Target-sized discounts, but...
We got the Imperial Patio Beers hats, the couple of the navy and the white, just regular golf hats too, so...
Yep. Yeah.
Get them while they're hot on Friday too.
Yep.
Speaking of Turkey Open, we're doing this live, so is there anything we want to say about... what our plans are, what we got going on here? Yeah,
so we're not going to go down to the bar around the corner anymore. We're gonna do scoring at the golf course, like a tournament should be, right?
Exactly. Yeah, we're growing up.
I hope that since we're staying there, I hope people when they come in, they go back up on the patio and start heckling people coming in. That's my hope anyway.
Nothing while clubs are being taken back.
No, but like if no one's swinging,
sure.
heckle the fuck out of people. I don't care. Like I hope that's why I want to stay there because I hope that happens.
I assume we're going red white, so it'll be a scramble hole too, which will be
good
for heckling.
Yes, exactly. So that's my hope. But we're gonna stay. We're gonna stay at the course. Tee times are gonna be this getting real now. Tee times are coming out this weekend. Saturday's the last day. I do have a spot for 2 more teams if 2 more teams want to play.
Okay.
So, but tee time's going to be out this weekend. I'm now that it's this close. I'm so ready. Maybe we're going to do a show next week, right? A little preview of the Turkey Open.
Yeah, we're going to go. I think it's going to be our first 4-man show here.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do as part of our preview. Is I'm gonna put betting odds on each team because I think you pretty much know everybody, but there might be a couple teams you don't know. I think I'm gonna put betting odds on every team.
Good luck managing that.
They're my odds.
Yeah, who's the house?
I will be.
Oh God! All right, you heard it here first.
These lines. Hey, you know how sharp my lines are when it comes to novelty golf. I mean, I used to send out over unders for JV golf tournaments, and they were very, very, very good lines. Like they were very sharp lines.
I mean, if that's a skill you want to claim, then sure, that's fine.
I'm a great amateur golf handicapper.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, sweet. So things are rounding into form. Hopefully the weather helps us out. But if the course is open, we will be out there.
Yeah, I mean. And I'm telling you, this is a warning. And this is a warning if you decide that you want to play in it next year. If you drop out after the tee times come out, you're done. Like, you're never playing in it again. When it's 65 degrees the next year, you're out. There ain't no spot for you. So, think about that when you sign up. This is not for fair weather golfers.
No. It's a great time. Hardcore golfers only.
Yeah.
It's going to be a blast.
It's fun, but, you can be not even a serious golfer, but just don't drop out. I know there's going to be one team this year. I know it's going to happen. It happened last year.
No, keep the faith. We've been talking enough about this. I think people are hyped. Full field. It'll be great.
Yeah, but I will give everybody the benefit of the doubt. This was a team that was sent to me from another club. They're like, they want to play in it, and we don't have a tournament like that. And then they dropped out. I'm not going to name the golf club. Let's just put it this way. This golf club does not have the typical – they don't have the, the known, like – there's not been – they're softies. I should have known it when I took their names down. I'm like, oh, these dudes are going to drop out. And the weather wasn't even that bad last year.
Did the Trinkle skip last year?
No, man. Look, Jerry and McAteewall's got some golfers. Like they've got some hardcores out there. So, but no, it'll be good. I'm now that it's this close. Like I said, I'm looking for like I'm getting anxious.
I know, sort of the unofficial end of the golf season, if you will.
Yeah, almost literally, probably.
Well, official end of the score posting season is tomorrow in Ohio. Tomorrow's the last day for posting scores to qualify towards your handicap. What's the last score you put in? Do you know?
I shot 77. No, 70. I shot 76 last Wednesday.
I'm gonna have to look mine up.
Yeah, I shot 76 last Wednesday. My handicap is moving up quickly, which love that. I think mine artificially got low there for a little bit. Just because I was playing a lot of golf and I was playing pretty good, but like this new handicap system, correct me if I'm wrong, the bad scores don't move it as much as the good scores do. Like,
no, that's very correct because they keep obviously it's your your best 8 of your previous 20. So
but like even if you put 4 in a row where you're just like struggling, it doesn't really move it much.
No, and plus there's the net double bogey rule and all that, so it kind of has some built-in safeguards to people trying to bag. My last round was an 81 on October 28th. It's the day we played Tilt.
Oh yeah,
haven't touched the club since then. Sorry, Nick.
You might want to hit up. We're going to try to play golf next Monday before we record.
Yeah.
You may want to hit up Miles of Golf.
I'm going to find a way to at least hit a ball before the first
or just when the kids go to bed, just like hop in your car, book a half hour over at S&G over at Mason, hit something in the simulator.
I haven't gone there. I might have to just go do
it's
that.
It's 24
hours.
I
go check it out.
Like, look, no free ads, but it's 24 hours. You can go over there at 3 o'clock in the morning for all you want.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to do that this winter. I'm going to get in the car. Like, kids are in bed. And, like, I'm just going to go over there, like, midnight. Just, like, hit balls.
I'll be asleep then. But if you go earlier, let me know.
I'm a night owl. And I'm, like, sometimes especially in the winter for whatever reason, with my seasonal depression, I just get, like, insomnia. And, like, I stay up way too late. And that might be a way to, like, work some energy off and come home and go to bed. But it's awesome. It's a great place. It's BYOB. BYOF, is that a thing? Like bring your own food?
I guess, yeah.
But it's a great place, and it's they got bathroom. It's clean bathrooms. Like it's. But you might have to do that if the weather's kind of crappy for the next week. You might have to do that before the Turkey Open.
Yeah, we'll check it out for sure. Back to the handicap thing. I brought that up because did you see there's a few new rules that are going in with the system?
No.
Or changes, I should say. All right, I saw this earlier in the week. 3 key ones that the USGA shared, posted about. They're starting to integrate short courses, so like 9 holes. As short as like 750 yards, like real short.
Huh.
So you were tough seam for your hole-in-one stance. You might get
still doesn't count. I don't care what the USGA has been wrong about a lot of things. So
yeah, so basically they're making those courses eligible for course rating and slope and all that, which that in theory makes the game more inclusive, brings in courses that weren't previously brought in.
Yeah, well, it's funny you say that because I thought that might be a rule coming in because I knew Meadowlinks didn't have a rating, and for those that are not in this area, it's like an executive course, par 3s. Was there like 3 par 4s or something like that? And a girl with the GCGA that I was talking to, and she's one of their course raters. She was like, "Yeah, I was over at Meadowlinks, like rating the course." And I'm like, and I didn't ask her, but at the time I was like, I didn't think there was a rating for that, but now that probably explains why she was doing it. So
there you go. Another one, which I think is an interesting one. So they're going to start using expected score differential when you play fewer than 18 holes. So if you play between 10 and 17 holes, you get rained out on like the 14th hole or whatever. Yeah. It'll have you input your scores based on like hole by hole. And then I think it'll like generate what you would have shot for a full round basically to go into your handicap.
Huh.
I could be describing that wrong, but that's a way to get in the rounds where you don't finish a full 18, but you get past 10.
That's interesting.
And you don't have to wait on 9-hole scores to combine anymore. So
I think that might be the biggest change out of all three of those.
So like when we play league night, it'll be applied to your handicap index the very next day, just like an 18-hole round.
Which that makes sense because I was looking and I guess it was just because I just played an odd number of league nights. Like, I just got this 9-hole score sitting out there, and it's from, like, I don't know. When was the last, like, September was, like, the last, end of August, September. I think it was September. It's just been sitting out there for almost 3 months now.
I've got one in mind, too. I don't even know what it's
Yeah,
for,
I just think I played an odd number of league nights, and it's just the last one from the last week is just sitting out there. So that's interesting. And honestly, I think it's a good thing just because of that, right? Mm-hmm. Like they don't register right away. It could be a week and a half before that counts towards any handicap. Now it's going to count right away, which it should.
Yeah, especially when you're in like the middle of tournament season, and that can be a big swing depending on when they pull the scores. So
yes, especially because our big tournament, they do post those 9-hole scores.
Yeah,
and we play 5 matches. Well, that's an odd number. Like there's going to be a 9-hole score sitting out there
right
after they get done. So no, I like that. It should register right away. I mean, it's still golf. Mm-hmm. It's not 18 holes, but they rate 9 holes. They rate each 9 holes. So there's a rating and a slope and everything for the 9 holes. So yeah, I think that's a good idea. That's the biggest change for sure, though, out of 3 of them.
I think so. I am curious to see, like, if I am in the instance of having to, putting in one of those, like, or a few of those, like, maybe 14-hole rounds or something, how that'll impact my handicap specifically, because I think it could bring it down a little bit artificially if I have to do that frequently. Because, like, on a hole-to-hole basis, me being a 7, like, I'm probably, I don't know, like 60-40 if I'm going to make par or bogey on most holes. Like, I'm fractionally over par on a hole-by-hole basis.
Yes.
Whereas if I'm actually playing golf, I am liable. There's like a 15 to 20% chance it's going to be double or worse, right? So if I'm going to be getting like all these like whatever adjusted scoring system thing that they're doing, differential, it might eliminate some of those doubles that I could potentially make.
Because if it's like, oh, he would have bogeyed this hole or whatever,
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I can see that. I mean, that's probably the case for a lot of people.
Which is my whole point here is I think this helps better players a little bit in the long run.
It does. And then it probably hurts handicaps for probably anybody above an 8, I would think. 8 or above is probably going to be detrimental to your score.
Yeah, I think the high, like if you're someone like a lot of the people that we play with, it's like in that 10 to 18 range, maybe even 20.
Because think about the variable in their holes is, to say that it's like, oh, this was the one handicap hole, we're giving them a bogey. Mm-hmm. Realistically, it could probably be a double or a triple,
right.
I don't think you can count more than a triple unless you're like probably like a 30 handicap or something.
Yeah, I mean, there's like the net double bogey thing.
Yeah, but. So, I mean, to say that they would double, I mean, they'd probably have a higher, on the number one handicap hole on most courses, they probably have a higher chance of doubling than they do bogey.
Possibly,
I would guess.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, especially, so with the way that, it looks like the way the 9-hole handicap is going to work, it's going to be basically put in as an 18-hole with like that score differential adjustment for the other 9, with an emphasis on the 9 that you did play.
Okay, that makes sense.
If you go out, we know plenty of guys that are 15, 16 handicap, but they'll come shoot 36 on league night. And
magically,
that 15, 16 handicap is going to start dropping as those 9-hole scores start counting towards their handicap.
Yeah,
so,
but magically
instead of getting paired with a 45 from the next week, it'll be look a little different.
Yeah, I do think it's going to artificially make handicaps lower though, for sure. Like specifically higher handicaps.
Not a ton, but I think we'll see probably a little bit of just handicaps going down.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, I just wanted to touch on that a little bit. So I didn't watch any of this. I haven't watched any pro golf in a while, but they are just delivering on the stories right now.
Yeah,
on the PGA Tour.
Camilo.
We're coming off the Eric Van Rooyen and his buddy. He won in the super emotional win. Who with his buddy struggling with cancer. Straight into Camilo Villegas winning after finishing tied for second last week.
Yeah,
2 EVR.
He's hot right now.
Camilo wins first time in 9 years. 3 years after he lost his young daughter, like a 2-year-old daughter, I believe.
I remember that, yeah.
She was battling like brain and spinal tumors, just really sad situation. And, I mean, just magical in the fall right now with these stories.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch it much, but even without the story about his daughter and stuff like that, I always liked Camilo. I mean,
So did I.
You know, he had like the eccentric, like how he read putts and stuff like that.
Yeah, he
and,
dressed flashy.
Yeah, dressed flashy. I think he was a Puma guy there for a while, wasn't he, with like Ricky when Ricky was first getting out there. I love that he's back and he's playing really good. I mean, look, I know they're watered down fields and stuff like that, but you know, second and a first in 2 weeks, even with a watered down field, is pretty good. And then you throw in the story about his daughter. I think I'm happy for him. I don't know what kind of status he has. I have no idea. I don't even want to go to guess what kind of status he has right now. But
he now has full status through 2025 with the win. Before that, he was literally signed up for like Korn Ferry Q School.
Oh wow,
that's
awesome. That's
so got
good.
this.
I'm glad he's back.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like I said, first time his last win was the 2014 Wyndham Championship. Earlier this year, he was on the call at the Wyndham Championship. Like he was starting to think about broadcasting.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Was he really?
Yeah. And listen, okay, so here's the quotes after the round. This game has given me so many great things, but in the process, it kicks your butt. Life has given me so many great things, and in the process, it kicks my butt too. I felt the energy. You know what? It kept building up. Everybody here on the island was great. They were just rooting me on. Gotta believe in energy, man. I've got my little one up there watching it, smiling. She's where she needs to be after a long fight. Just daggers right in the heart.
Oh no! Especially as a dad, it's just.
Ugh.
You know, it was funny. I was talking about that yesterday with somebody, and it's like, you know, we were talking about someone else, and then that happened like later on that day. But it was like losing a kid it's the hardest thing you would ever go through. I hope no one ever has to go through it, but I mean, especially, you know, daughter. Like I've got 3 daughters. Like I couldn't imagine.
Yeah,
couldn't imagine it.
No, and to
be able to go on with life, you know what I mean? Like
I don't know how you would bounce back personally. Like I can't even.
No, I can't even fathom that.
So yeah, for him to just keep grinding at golf and, you know, getting up day after day and just trying to do everything he can to still make it at, you know, 41, 42 years old like he is now is.
Yeah, he's not young anymore. You know?
Fifth win on tour. Took him 9 years to get back. I mean, awesome story.
I did see someone slightly off topic, but with him up there, like near the lead, it was like if you turned on the TV, you would have thought they were like replaying like some kind of like tournament from 2009 or something. It's like, you know, you had him, you had a couple other guys, like older guys that, you know.
Oh yeah, this was like an historically bad field.
Yeah.
Like there was the invites they were sending to people were just absurd.
It was deep. They went deep in the well.
I think they were past like DA points territory. Like it was crazy bad.
Just anybody with any kind of status was getting invited. So,
yeah, I mean, I'm surprised your boy was out there playing this weekend with you.
I know. I thought he might get the call. I think he's still got status. I don't know. I mean, the last PGA Tour tournament he played in was the Barbasol, so maybe he doesn't have status. At least, maybe not status on the PGA Tour.
No, yeah.
His mom was trying to explain it to me, and she's like, he's got someone that's committing like 10 sponsors exemptions to him or something weird like that, but maybe he doesn't have status, or he probably would have been out there. So
right. One other note on Camilo. So a big credit that he's given to this is he started talking to Adam Scott in prep for the 2022 President's Cup at Quail Hollow. He's got the Adam Scott putter.
Oh my gosh!
And now I will give him credit. He's not using the broom. It's a regulation length putter.
Okay.
But it is like the spaceship looking
the
abomination of a putter.
Yeah. What kind of putter is that?
It's like the Lab something or other.
Oh.
It's like its own brand. Lab stands for something.
Yeah, there's a couple companies out there like that. I forget
what it's called. It's like it's an acronym for.
I know what you're talking
something
about.
Something like lie angle something or other.
Yeah. There's a few companies. One's like they're like a company. It's like called Cure. One of the guys I played with yesterday.
Yeah,
was using some Cure putter. It looked hideous. But I think it's like Cure Lab, and there's another one. There's another one out there. I'm thinking of, but I know what you're talking about. It's like it's not like a It's not like Odyssey. Or,
No, it's its own
Titleist or
brand
like
of
that.
putter company, putter design company or whatever.
Yeah.
But I also reading up on this stuff too. One thing I've heard a lot about with these guys that have been struggling putting is like a lot of them reference their hands getting too low. So like, I guess these putters like design you to be a little more upright with your grip and your posture or whatever when you're dressing the ball.
Oh, great. Now this is just something else I got to think about.
I'm just incepting it in your brain. I don't know if it's a good thing for me to do or not because I focus on keeping my hands high when I'm putting. So maybe
I've never focused on that.
I might be fixing you. I don't know.
I mean, I've fooled around with grips and stuff like that, but
yeah,
I've never thought about that.
But you know what I mean? They're like your hands being too low. Like
like toe too high up. Yeah.
Scotty talked about that.
I focus on that. My issue's the other way around. I sometimes get that heel too high.
Oh, you get too high. Okay.
Yeah.
Steve Stricker it.
Yeah.
He's famous for doing that.
Yeah, and he's a pool putter, and I do slightly pull the ball. I've found that out. I putted on a simulator like 3 years ago, and every putt I hit had like just a little bit of a pull on it. So I don't.
Was that with the Scotty?
Yeah, that was with the blade. Yeah, but I would assume that hasn't changed. I mean, I think if you're a pool putter, you're a pool putter. Like it's just the way you're attacking.
Well, I mean,
the ball.
that's a toe hang putter, so you're getting a natural.
That's true too.
Closing.
Yeah.
What's your mallet? Is it face balanced or?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Then that you've been putting better with a face balanced putter.
Yeah.
Maybe you've gotten rid of some of the pools.
Maybe I have. I got to get back on that like putting simulator.
Yeah.
They had it one day out at Miles of Golf, and I was like, I kind of want to get on this just to see. And I got on it, and like my first putt, like it was like face was closed like 4 degrees. I'm like, no wonder I'm the worst putter in the world. This is before I started putting better, and it was like, oh my god. I'm like, and the funny thing is, before I got on it, I was telling him, I was like, yeah, like at that point, I was like around like 1-0, something like that. And he saw that like bullshit. There's no way. But no, the Lab, I've heard of Lab. Lab is one of the popular ones. I'm pretty sure Lab is the same putter that, what's his name's using?
Lucas Glover.
Yeah.
They're all three using it.
Yeah, I think they're all similar. I think Lucas's Glover is a little different than Adam Scott's though.
They might be, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. I think it's the same company. Anyway.
That got off the rails quickly after I was talking about my pool putting.
Oh, who cares? We're moving quick tonight, so it's all good. I mean, do we do it? Are we ready to go to the patio already?
Yeah, I suppose so, because I think
this could take a while.
Yeah, I think it can. So let's start out with this. Miller Lite, sponsor of the patio, our patio. It should be a sponsor of everybody's patio. It's our go-to beer because you know what? Why, Mitch? You know why, right?
It's the hops from the Pacific Northwest.
That's exactly what
Always.
the special. And you know what? Look, we're at an age where we've got to start watching our figure. We can't be out there drinking IPAs, can't be out there drinking stouts. We need something to watch our figure, and the best part is 95 calories.
96, but who's
96. Hey, if you drink enough of them, it actually takes a calorie off of them.
Yeah, you're burning energy as you're drinking them, so yeah.
Yep, so appreciate Miller Lite sponsoring the patio. All right, you're up first. Let's hear it.
All right, shout out Susie. I was like, all right, I'm terrible at questions right now. Just throw me one. She did a little research. And this one struck a chord with me. We're coming up on Thanksgiving, so food's on my mind already. What is...
Don't hate that.
No, don't hate that. What is the weirdest thing in your fridge right now?
Man, that's a good question. I'm sorry. I'm trying to picture my fridge right now. I was just in it like an hour ago. I would have to say, I know what it is. So, if you've ever been to Costco, you know the taco packages?
Yeah.
So, like that cilantro lime
We just
sauce?
had these tonight, literally.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know that cilantro lime sauce, really unbelievable.
It's
First of all, if
amazing.
you've never had the taco kit from Costco, it's like the best $10 dinner you'll ever have in your life. But we bought like a 2-pack of it, like just the sauce.
Okay, where'd you find it? We've been looking.
So I went there. This was probably a month and a half ago. We found it, but when we went back like 2 weeks ago, I went there.
Yeah, it doesn't. It comes and goes. Yeah.
I asked the guy, and he's like, yeah, sometimes we have it, sometimes we don't. He's like, we don't know when we're getting the shipment of it. It just kind of comes in.
Gotcha.
But it's like we love that sauce. That's probably like the most obscure thing in there, just because it's like if you don't know those taco kits, you'd be like, what in the world is this? Like you would have almost no idea what it is.
Do they sell the salsa that comes in there?
No, they don't. Because that salsa is pretty good, too.
The salsa it's like the best all-around salsa I've ever had.
Yeah, it's not like too chunky.
You could eat it with chips. It's not like super tomatoey. You can put it on anything you want to put it on.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's great. Yeah, it's
got the perfect amount of heat to it. It's awesome.
Yep, you have that salsa tagged with this lime sauce. I mean, it's lime cilantro sauce. It's so good. Like, and I'm trying to think. That's probably the most obscure thing in there. We do right now, I believe. There is one other thing, and it just got put in there, like on Friday. So Danielle goes down to the Christmas market downtown. There is a chocolate-covered Twinkie in my fridge right now.
Okay, that's random.
She got it for me, and like Friday, like I was beat, and I'm going when she got home, like I was already in bed. She's like, hey, there's a chocolate Twinkie in the fridge when you want it. I still haven't eaten it. It's still in there.
We're going to need a chocolate-covered Twinkie review.
Yeah.
You're going to have to record this.
Knowing my kids, it might be gone by now. But you know what? I think if it's still there, I'll do it.
Yeah.
My kids might have got their hands on it.
God,
They're thieves.
I've never even heard of that, but I bet
that
seems
delicious.
really, that's so American. It's
I bet it's delicious. I bet it's so good. I actually kind of want to go home and eat it now after we're done.
Yeah. Look,
all right. What's in your fridge? Because I have a feeling yours is going to be a little more eccentric than mine.
Yeah. So we've got a 9-month-old in the house. So just look, breast milk aside.
Yeah,
it's going to be there. There's also some prunes in there right now. We'll put those aside too. Probably the weirdest. Look, you know my love of charcuterie boards. I'm a charcuterie artisan. Craft these on my own. Murray's makes a fantastic tangerine chili marinated olive. Those are in my fridge right now. They are delicious, but that's got to be the weirdest thing that's currently in the fridge.
God, that sounds so good.
You like olives?
Some.
Okay.
I think, let me put it this way. I think there's more shitty olives out there than there are good ones.
That's true, yeah.
But I would eat those.
I love olives. I feel like most people are either like way out on olives or way in.
Yeah, I will tell you this. I'm not going to go out of my way to eat it, but like if I was over at your house and you just like, hey, I got
try these.
This out, like I'd dip my foot in the water, you know.
See, come on over to the charcuterie side.
I refuse to do that. I love cheese and meat. It doesn't mean they got to be on some fancy board and make me feel like I have to have a fucking pipe in my mouth.
Look, there's few things that I enjoy more at this point in my life than like a charcuterie board and wine night. That's just where I'm at.
Oh God,
it's where I'm at. That's my era right now.
How dare you say that on a patio that's sponsored by Miller Lite?
Look, I said few things I enjoy more. One of them is being on the patio with an ice cold Miller Lite.
Well, I did see this. Speaking of charcuterie boards, I saw this one. Someone did a chili charcuterie board.
I think I've seen that too.
And I was like, you know what? That might be the only charcuterie board I might be fully in on. I am a chili fiend.
Are you saying charcuterie or charcuterie? It's charcuterie, you heathen.
See how unsophisticated I am? Very uncultured of me.
Read a book.
I told you I've already read like 5 or 6 books in my entire life.
Charcuterie. God, I'm cutting this clip.
So I saw this chili one, and I would be in on that one.
Yeah.
Because I'm like this time of year, we either have leftover chili in the fridge or we're cooking a new batch.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
And chili, you can just, it's like chili's one of those things you can just add anything to. And that's what they had. They had everything I would add. Like, I didn't even think about that going in chili. And I'm like, they had like Fritos on it, and like jalapenos, sour cream, cheese, like 4 different kinds of, I was like, I would be in on that. But like
the best thing to put on chili, chives.
Oh, yeah.
Chives are absolute fire. They add so much flavor to like anything you put them on. It's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, if I was building a charcuterie board,
Thank you.
A chili one, chives, white onions, and purple onions would be options because those are different.
Yeah.
Like some people, I'm not like a big purple onion guy, so I would have to have the different, and then chives would be on there too for sure.
Are you a hot sauce person with chili?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
There would be probably 5 or 6 different hot sauce per like.
Because that's the different hot sauce types is important too.
Yeah, because if you don't like, if you want like a little kick to it, and you like add this one, but if you want to like, you want to sit on your toilet the whole next day, here's this one, like
Yeah,
you want to give you the options.
You got to go Tabasco for the heat. You get a little Frank's for like not as much heat, a little flavor.
Yep.
Cholula gives you that different flavor profile.
Yeah, and maybe we even like explore different hot sauces at Jungle Gyms, like just
let's get weird.
Yeah, get real weird with it. It's a charcuterie board. Those are just weird in general as it is.
It's all about options on the charcuterie board. Balancing flavors.
Cherry jam and Gouda. Like I don't need that. Like,
yeah, you do need that. That sounds great.
God, I fucking hate charcuterie boards.
At least you learned how to pronounce it tonight. I'm proud of you.
Hey, you learn something every day.
That's right.
All right. So my question, maybe food was on my mind when I thought of this. This is the one we're going to go with because I've got a couple. I'll save the other one for next week. I think it'll be.
I've got a nice one for next week.
I think the one I had for next week is going to be way better for the 4 of us. What was the best dinner you ever had? And I'm not. Maybe it's like a mix of like what you had and the people you had it with, or maybe it was just the food. Like, but what was the best dinner you've ever had?
Oh man,
I have a tie for mine, but
that's incredible question. I wish I was more prepared so I had time to go back through the catalog of dinners I've had. At like Thanksgiving holiday, meal.
Yeah.
I'm not counting that because that's a different experience. I gotta say, so when we did a nice little tour to Europe a few years ago, we were in Rome. Didn't fully understand the customs of like, we're Americanized with like our when time to eat and what we're supposed to eat at certain times.
Yeah, every I found out every culture has like a different time for dinner.
Yeah, and so we got stuck out after exploring Rome and didn't really have a way to get back to our. It wasn't just like you called an Uber and got back at this point.
Yeah,
in time, right. It was like we wound up walking a ton, and et cetera, et cetera. Well, we stumbled upon this restaurant on the way back to our place that was still open, and something I learned, maybe it was just this restaurant, so forgive me if I'm wrong about this, but Susie tried to order pasta, and apparently pasta is more of like a lunch food in Italy, not a dinner food. Didn't realize that, and it could have been this particular restaurant, but they actually had like the chef like whipped up pasta specifically for her because we were there and we were like the only people in the restaurant, and they could tell like we had no idea what we were doing and had no business being there, but we had like some awesome 4-course Italian meal, basically had a private restaurant to ourselves that night. The chef's just slinging out whatever he's got back there. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Amazing meal. Amazing.
So that's a pretty good choice. I mean, Rome and stuff.
Yeah, and it was in Rome. I mean, come on. Like, what am I?
Do you have like what would be like an honorable mention to that?
There's probably a time that I wish I could remember, but like there had to be a time where I was way too hammered and I got my hands on something that was like soul reviving. You know what I mean? Because I would love to put a story like that in here to answer this question, but I don't have one off the top of my head. But I know there's been a time I was down bad and I got my hands on something good that brought me back to life.
Oh,
that would be what my second choice would be if I could come, have something on top of mind.
Oh, I mean, knowing the way you get when you drink, that would like 100%. Like, that would be 100% the truth. Like, yeah. I don't know what one it would be.
It would bring me so back.
It might have been like last year. I think you sent us a text like with White Castles one time when you were like,
it's possible.
anything involving White Castles after drinking.
This doesn't count, but I will say after I ran the half marathon at the Pig, when we got off and there was just like apples sitting there, I never in my life has anything tasted better than that apple did at that moment.
just an apple.
That
That's
doesn't
what
count
I said.
as a meal.
It
But
doesn't
I'm
have to
telling
be.
you, it was what I needed.
But that's what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be like. It doesn't have to be like the people you're with, like, or even the food. Like, it just could be like in the moment. Like, oh my god, I needed this like so badly.
Yeah.
Like mine that I have are like a mix of both, like the dinner and like maybe the people I was with or person I was with. I guess I'll go ahead and say mine. So I've got like 3 that are honestly pretty much tied.
Okay.
So you went the better route, but mine's more like sentimental, I guess.
Yeah.
So the first one was the dinner for Gunt's birthday.
Oh,
It was. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
that's such an oversight on my part.
It was like the company, and then just the things that happened during that dinner were just off the chain. Like, I'll tell you this: that night, I took a picture of Gunt. That is it's legitimately my phone picture for him.
Yeah.
Because he's sitting over by this light, leaning up against it in a sport coat and like dress pants, and I was like, man, that's really good lighting for a picture. He's like. And he just kept posing. I'm like, oh, I think he wants me to take a picture. So I took a picture of him, and that's my picture for her. And then I wanted like this really nice wine that I liked, and then they had like the more expensive version of it, and then we found out it was Carl Lindner.
I've never laughed so hard.
For the people that don't know who Carl Lindner is, well, he owns a sports team. He owns UDF, like billionaire, And they're like, well, we usually save this for Carl Lindner. And I was just like...
You're like, let me get a look at it.
I'm like, hold on, let me see what it is. I saw the year on it, and I was like, that's like a $4,000 bottle of wine. That is definitely not what I want. Like, and people are just losing their mind. And then we have Nick passing out into his spaghetti. It was just... That whole dinner was just, like, lost in the sauce from the very beginning. Like...
I don't mean to interrupt you, but now I thought of another one. The post-Stampede win dinner that you and Gunth had at Shooters.
That was pretty off the chain, to be honest with you. It just, God.
Anyway, continue with
But
yours.
that was like, that's 1A, 1B. So the night I got engaged, we went to Montgomery Inn, and like Danielle had never had it. She came into town specifically just to come into town during the summer. She was in Texas. I was up here. She came into town. We went there. Now it's funny. Like, her parents had never had it. Like, when they've come up now, that's the only place they want to eat. They love that place. Her grandparents have come up here. They love that place. So like that dinner, like introducing her to like a staple restaurant that, in the city we ended up living in. And then I went and got engaged to her later that night. That was a pretty special dinner. The Boathouse is like, look, not to take away from the original Montgomery Inn, because it does have that, like, this is the original one. The Boathouse is the best views by far. If you want to run into somebody, like any athlete or anything like that, if they're there, they're going to be at the Boathouse. They're probably not going to be at the original Montgomery Inn.
You're 100% right. And also, people like to kind of like look down upon Montgomery Inn. Get out of here. You know what?
Yeah, what is that about?
I will stand for Montgomery Inn.
Yeah, it's just because they don't have like the dress codes of like Jeff Ruby restaurants and stuff like that, it doesn't mean it's bad. Like, I like the fact that it's like, oh, like I went to a Bengals game. I'm about to hop over and crush a whole rack of ribs. And by the way, the best, like, and I've heard this too. They're like not that good. I'm like, yeah, because, okay, first off, they're not smoked ribs. I think ribs are good smoked and not smoked. It doesn't take away from how good they are. Like, I like them.
So do I.
Like, have I had smoked ribs that I think are probably a little better? Yeah, but I think, like, the history behind them and everything, like they're really, really good. Like, people are crapping on Montgomery Inn nowadays. I don't understand the hate. I really don't.
I don't either. Sometimes places can just be what they are, and they're fine, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
You don't have to be like, since it's not like
since it's not
newest
smoked.
fancy place or whatever.
Or they're not smoked or this or that. It's like, there is a ton of ways to cook food. Like, smoke's not the only way, just as baking them are not the only way. It's like, yeah, I don't understand the hate that Montgomery Inn's gotten over like the last 5 years. Like, with all of these new restaurants downtown for us, it's like, oh, it's like nada and this, nothing, not take away Pep and Dolores from my first story.
No.
I don't know. I think good food's good food. Like, you don't have to crap on another restaurant just because this restaurant. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like I love Jeff Ruby's and I love Montgomery Inn. Like, I don't know why you can't like both of them. But
all right, I just thought of another dinner since we're talking through this.
I told you this was going to stem a lot of conversation.
So after our wedding, we ended up closing down the Naughty Pine, which is like a local rock and roll former biker bar type place. Super fun. Anyway, Susie and I rolled through the McDonald's drive-thru at like 3 a.m.
Hell yeah.
In full, like she's in her wedding dress, I'm in my tux, everything. And I'm telling you that, for whatever reason that night, I got the buffalo chicken sandwich. And I never needed anything like I needed that buffalo chicken sandwich that night.
That's such an odd thing to
I
get
will
from
never
McDonald's.
forget that meal ever. Oh, it was, that's the only time I've ever had that in my entire life.
Like, if I'm going to eat McDonald's drunk, like, it's either going to be just like the classic cheeseburger, or I'm going to
like
get
1,000 nuggies.
that. So it's either classic cheeseburger, nuggets, or if I'm feeling like I'm really want to feel like shit in the morning, a Big Mac.
Yeah, I don't know why I did it, but I did.
Like, I don't know if I've ever had a chicken sandwich from McDonald's.
And it was amazing.
I bet it was. Oh, yeah. And just like you're doing it, like, you're driving through it like after your wedding, like in your in her wedding dress and your tux and stuff. Like, that should be like a McDonald's commercial.
It feels like one. Hit me up, McDonald's. We'll reenact it.
My third dinner that I thought of, I couldn't nail down the specific time, but we used to have like house dinners, like my junior year in college. We had a couple our like senior year, but like just because of those group of guys, like I grew up, like I lived with them and stuff like we all kind of lived together for a couple years. I'm sure that at some point there was like I couldn't even nail. Like, I was sitting there thinking, I was like, there had to be a night where we had like our last dinner like together, and we were like in the kitchen cooking. And you're in college, our fucking kitchen was just disgusting. We're like, we're making like 9 different things. But we always used to cook at like the same time. And I was like, I'm sure at some point there was like the last dinner we had together. But like, I always enjoyed those. Like, and the funny thing is it was in college because it'd be like hamburgers with no buns, like an egg, like and some rice, like that pouch rice that was fucking disgusting. Oh. Like, I would never stoop to that level ever again, probably. But like, just the most disgusting food. But when you're poor in college, like, that's what you do. We used to have, speaking of college, I guess this would be like an honorable mention for me. So like me, Danielle, now my wife, my friend John, who was my roommate for 3 years, and then Danielle's best friend Kelly, we used to have like Sunday night dinners in college.
Nice.
And like we'd do something different every time. Like, I always enjoyed those. Like, and we're still friends with them and stuff like that. I thought those were pretty cool. But those were my 3, like 1A, 1B, 1C. And I think the most stories out of it has to be Pep and Dolores for Gunt's birthday last year.
I don't know the last time I've laughed as hard as I did that night.
I will tell you this. My abs hurt after we got home. Like,
dude.
I woke up and I was like, oh my God. The next morning I was like telling Danielle, I was like, I'm just sore. And she's like, why? I'm like, I laughed nonstop. Like, there was never a moment I wasn't laughing. Like, I thought for sure they were going to come back in that room and kick us out. Like,
no, they needed us to hit the minimum. So,
I mean, it was just off the rails. Like, from the moment. Actually, on the way to the restaurant, it got off the rails, and we never got back on them. Like, we were taking pictures with the baby light in the back seat. Like, it just never got back on track, like, ever. But it was, and then it was all capped by Nick passing out into his, what was that, like
his limoncello pasta.
Limoncello pasta, and then the worst part is, his wife is like, what, 9, like fully pregnant.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
She could go into labor at any point, essentially.
Yeah.
And he can't even stay awake at the dinner table.
Dude, I will, seriously, when
I had to call him out for that. He has to be accountable for that.
Yeah. But I swear to God, when they told you, well, we usually reserve that for Mr. Lindner, and you said, well, let me see it. That's Hall of Fame Justin moment. I'm still laughing about that today. Oh my God.
God. Yeah, that was just, there's just so many And then the picture I took of Gunt, like, just capped it off. Like, and you know what the funny thing was? Is how off the rails it was. I think I got home at like 10:30.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't even that late of a night. It really wasn't. Like, I got home at a decent time.
Just
like,
pound for pound.
Like, pound for pound.
Yeah.
Pound for pound, hour for hour. Just unbelievable. Like,
Gunt's dirty 30.
I mean, if anybody's birthday was going to be like that, I would suspect it would be his.
Yeah.
Like,
for sure.
And poor Chandler, like his now fiance, just, I don't think she's that, like, and she's so sophisticated. Like, I love her to death, but she's very sophisticated. Like, I'm sure dinners like that with her friends do not go that way. Like,
probably not, but she's truly a pro's pro.
She is a pro's pro, and she is very understanding.
Oh, yeah.
Very understanding. So, shout out Chandler.
Shout out to Chandler, yes.
The Chanimal.
Oh, all right. That was a good one. Somehow we get on these topics sometimes, and it's the food topic. That's a good one.
I think the food topic's a no-brainer. Like, there's so many ways to go about that.
Yeah.
And look, mine wasn't even one when I was drunk. You had a couple where you're like, I just knew
there had to be an answer in there for that.
I mean, I'm sure I had a dinner at one point where it was like a dinner. I call it a dinner. It's like a 3 a.m. meal where it's like, I mean, I can tell you the one 3 a.m. meal I had or I was thinking I was going to have. Have I ever told you the story about how I ordered White Castles when I was up in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and they came to my house down here? And I was like, waiting in the hotel lobby after a company Christmas party. Me and another coworker were waiting she was like, where the hell are these fucking White Castles? I'm like, they show delivered. So we like look around. We're like looking out in the lobby. We're looking like out on the street. Like maybe they dropped them off at the front door. And then I'm giving up. I'm going to bed. Yeah. And we pull in the driveway the next afternoon. They're sitting on my front porch. So I tried to have a dinner like that. I needed it so bad. Like the food was like okay. Yeah. And I didn't really eat a lot for dinner. And then we like got into the party portion of it. And I was like, when I got back to it, I was like, I need food so bad. And I was like, oh, look, there's a White Castles in Fort Wayne, Indiana. By the way, there is no White Castles in Fort Wayne, Indiana if you're ever up there. So don't order it on DoorDash.
So it's actually the one in Westchester. Yep. Okay.
Oh,
nice.
God. All right.
All right. Well, I think we're going to get out of here on that. Next time we do this, we're going to be recording Turkey Open preview with Nick and Gunn.
Yeah, I've got some guests coming on.
Two our former, esteemed co-hosts all together for a foursome.
And your partner and my partner.
That's right. Could be some shots fired. I don't know.
Maybe a friendly wager.
Friendly wager, always. Yeah, it's going to be great. So, yeah, go ahead, subscribe, review, rate us, follow us on social media at Back9Sixpack. Buy a hat, buy a beanie. If we don't see you on Black Friday, I don't know.
Text one of us.
Yeah, text one of us. That'll work.
The sale is still valid through texting.
Look at this Santa Justin over here. He'll give you a discount.
Our Christmas tree's already up. I'm in the Christmas mood already.
Yeah, there he is. Christmas spirit, holiday spirit. Get it while it's hot because he notable sad boy in the winter. So this won't last long.
Yeah, I might just ignore your text when it gets into January.
Yeah. All right. On that note, we're out of here.
All
Cheers.
Right, see ya. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Back 9 Six-Pack. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Back 9 Six-Pack for all your content needs. We'll see you guys next week. Cheers.